Kate.
And hi, I'm Cheryl. And together,
We are
Fickle.
Stitches.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Kate.
Good morning, Cheryl.
Welcome to our channel. We are a channel about all things cross-stitch. And I love to stitch. And today is Saturday, April the 15th, middle of the month. Can you believe it?
No.
No, I can't either. I can't either. I'd like to send a special shout out to my best friend up in Canada, Tammy. Her birthday is today, and you will always be older than me. Love you. She's going to love that. So how was your couple of weeks there, Kate?
They were okay.
Lots of stitching?
Yes. Lots and lots of stitching.
So settle in, peeps. Get caffeinated, hydrated, comfy. Because we got some stuff to show you.
Yes.
Excellent. Do we want to start off with stitching or to answer some questions?
Let's answer the questions from the lovely people.
Yes. Oh, the first thing I wanted to say is for all those people, congratulations again, who won in our giveaway from the last video. Everything has been sent. And I think we've heard back from 2 people that they've received it, or 3. Can't remember. If you have not received your package yet, please let us know, because we do have the little, I think I have the tracking somewhere that we can make sure. But just let us know if you haven't received it yet. So there you go. Question number 1 is one for both of us. And our friend Memphis Sarah E asked, do we have a unicorn chart? Kate.
Okay. I do not have a unicorn chart, or per se, my unicorn chart was never charted. If you watched our Under the Bed Box videos, I had the Dragon Dreams seasonal castles, spring, summer, fall, and she never charted a winter.
And we looked.
I have looked multiple places. So if she never charted it, that would have been my unicorn chart.
I was super tempted when I was home in Canada that November because where she lives is not far from where my parents were. I almost called her up and said, hey,
let's take her hostage and make her chart a winter castle. I'm kidding.
But yes, it's the funniest thing that's where she stopped. Yeah, and I wonder if it's not sitting somewhere and she just never released it. Which would be frustrating.
For what her name is. But Dragon Dreams, if you watch us, which I seriously doubt.
You never know. You never know. Put it out there. Someone might know her personally. Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath.
Well, there you go.
What about you?
Well, I mean, my unicorn chart for the longest time was Meadow Dance by Marjolaine Bastin. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name right. It was released through Lenardi. And some of her cross-stitch patterns are still kind of out there, but not that one. And every once in a while, I see it pop up. Like, I'll just do a random search for it every once in a while. And it's always, whenever I go and pursue it, it's mislabeled or it's out of stock or whatever. So I don't know if I'll ever find it. I do like a lot of other things that are still kind of available. And I might settle and do, I've always wanted to do one of them. But the Meadow Dance one, it's it's wildflowers and butterflies, and the flowers that were used in it remind me of the pastures around my grandparents' farm with the clover and the buttercup and the this and that, and I think that's what spoke to me. So I forgot that one. I kind of sort of have like Touching the Autumn Sky by Mirabilia. For grins and giggles, I did a search on it yesterday and I found one for sale for almost $150, and I was like, can't do it. It was just the pattern. So I guess I kind of mentally took it off of my list. I don't know. It's a nice one, but I'm okay if I never get to do it. I think I would rather try to find Meadow Dance first, but there you go. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
People are. I have all the shades up, and people keep walking by with, and catches my eye.
Oh yeah, that's what I was like. I thought you saw something. Okay, so I mean, I hope that answers the question. But yeah, for the most part, there's a lot of patterns that there I would love to have, but they're still pretty easy to get. I don't have, and maybe I haven't done a whole lot of like looking and searching and looking at other people's unicorns to see if those ever appeal to me, but yeah. So the second question was from the 614 Stitcher and Candy, right? Yeah, Candy. Yeah. And she asked me specifically if I have a number of stitches required or chunk of time whenever I do a new start. And I will answer this and say it has changed. Before, when I did a new start, I usually tried to do 5 hours or like a nice chunk of time before I moved it along. Because before I started in like No New Starts, which is now Whip Warriors, I had my own rotation, and that's what I would do for New Start, was because I actually physically time before I ever got fully immersed in the online world of stitching groups and challenge groups and things like that. I had never ever counted stitches. I just timed how long I was stitching because I was interested to see how long it took to do something. Now that I've started with, now it's called Whip Warriors, I go by what their classification of a start is, that you have to have at least 200 stitches or 2 hours worth of stitching, and to count it as a start that you could use as part of their thing. And so with the amount of starts that I'm doing for my birthday stitch along, I found that works the most. I know that I stitch about 140, 150 stitches an hour, depending on how yeah, the easier stitching. Now, so I feel confident that if I stitch 2 hours, I've definitely done at least 200 stitches, easy. But when I did Sitting Pretty, which is that the full coverage, Barbara and Cheryl, I made sure I did more than 2 hours because it was pretty. There was a lot of colors happening there, and I also counted to double check to make sure I had at least 200 stitches, which I did. Because there was a nice little section that was all like 2 colors, and it was a big enough block to send me over the 200 stitches. So so that's what I do now. Now when I go back to possibly my normal rotation and things like that, I may revert back to the 5 hours is like what I typically do on a new start, but we'll see. Who knows what next year brings? Who knows what group I might, like I don't know. So that's my qualification for now. So I hope that answers the question.
Okay.
There we go.
Cheryl, did you have any finishes this week?
Not this week. No, ma'am. Although I came close.
I did.
Yay! Do tell.
All right. So my finish was for a category. The category was small, and I only own one small. I only had a whip of one small. I own more than one small.
Okay.
So this is Namaste Witches, #1, by On the Rocks Stitchery, stitched on 16-count pumpkin pie from Bestitch Me. Started on December 31st. Was when my New Year's Eve starts, 2022. Finished on April 2nd, 2023.
Oh. There it is. Ooh, I love that fabric. That turned out so good.
Yes.
Very good combo.
I stitched 694 stitches on it to finish it.
Nice.
Here are all the other ones. All in the same.
They look so good.
Yeah. They're so cute.
They are cute. Hey, baby.
Yeah, we're going to get photobombed today a bunch. All right.
Lovely. Great finish.
Thank you.
Did you have any starts?
I had one start. I know you say more.
Please, go ahead.
All right. So I started Aragorn from Thread Geeks by artwork by Will Shrike and 16-count Pearl for Mystic Fabrics. I started this on April 13th because that's the day Frodo and Sam left the Shire, according to some geeky website.
Yes.
And I stitched 1,076 stitches on my new start.
Oh my goodness. Look at it.
Bottom right corner start.
Do you know what's really interesting to me is when you showed me the picture, those colors didn't come out in the picture. But I see it, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't expecting those shades, but it looks really, like I'm not mad at it. It was just like, that was a different color blue than I was expecting.
So
it's so good. And look at that perfect gridding.
Yep. And there's my needle minder.
Nice.
The Tree of Gondor. Because you have to have everything themed, people.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. All right. So, Cheryl, I'm going to sit back and let you talk for the next hour about your starts.
Hey. So, actually, it's not as many as normal because I am still a little bit behind in all of my starting, and that's fine. I didn't stitch as much on Easter weekend as I had thought I was going to. And this past week, this is about the halfway mark in this whole birthday stitch along thing. And this week I didn't feel like starting a dang thing. So I worked a lot on a whip because, well, and it was also a very tough work week. And so whenever that happens, I find that starting takes a little too much energy. I'd rather work on something that's already established. So I'm still a little behind on my official starting, but I got some good stitching done. So the first one that I started was Gather Here from Hello from Liz Mathews. And it's a really nice monochromatic piece. She calls for a silken color, a thread gatherer silk, and I decided not to go that way. I decided with this one to go use the DMC equivalent. And I decided to do it on my very first piece of 40 count Verdal from Stitch Me. And I wasn't sure what it would be like to stitch on it. And boy, I am now officially hooked. 40 count Verdal is marvelous. So yeah, so here it is. It's the bird with the leaves and the grateful hearts. Yay. And this one I did a little more than my typical start because I got on a groove and I just enjoyed it. So this is as far as I got.
Oh, that looks great.
Yes. The gray DMC she calls for, it pops beautifully on this fabric. I'm going to say right now, pro tip. It's really nice to have a thread stash, but for me, I'm really enjoying starting to put together a fabric stash. Because for this one, I had some options to choose from and to see, because I didn't have what was called. And I'm like, but I can use what I've got. And so this worked out lovely. This is very close to the picture of the aged paper, but it's the Hot Cocoa. It's Hot Cocoa by Stitch Me.
Oh, that's a good color.
So good. And it looks great. So I'm very, very happy with this. Stitching on 40 count Verdal is amazing. It's super smooth. It's like butter. I don't know what I was expecting. I mean, it's even weave. I've usually found even weave to be okay, but I guess I wasn't sure what it would be like. But it is chef's kiss for sure.
Does Matt need to be worried about his staff?
He may be. Well, no. I mean, he's already like 3 boxes ahead of me, so it's all good. I mean, I've got a fabric stash, but it's more solid color with Schultz Weigart. You know what I mean? Like before, I want to branch out and get some dyed things and options. I like having options. I'm enjoying not always using the call for. I know it doesn't. I'm not as adventurous with color choices as you and Matt are, but I'm slowly getting there. So there you go. So I started that one on the 1st of April after we were done filming. Okay, so the next one I started was a little one. I deliberately chose April to be spring and Easter themed starts. So I started, gotta hold my arm straight, there we go. I started PEEP by the Prairie Schooler. I've had this card in my stash for the longest time. I just thought it was the cutest thing. So I am stitching it on 32 count, a literal scrap of 32 count natural linen. And I'm using the called for DMC except for the green. I didn't have, whoops. I didn't have the shade of green they asked for. So I had the next one in the color family and I used that. So, and this is how far I got. This is...
That's so cute.
So about halfway. Like this sucker is over 500 stitches, people.
Mm-hmm.
And I also had to do over the PEEP, the letters PEEP. Because I used a lighter shade of green, the pale blue kind of morphed, like merged into it and you could barely see it. It was sucked all the color out of it. So I went over it with one thread of the white. But you can see how small the scrap is, my hoop. It wasn't even fully wide enough for my hoop. But there you go.
You need baby something.
What's that?
You need like a baby hoop.
I had one, but I couldn't find it. I didn't have one. So there you go. So I started that on April the 5th. So then the next one I started, I just didn't feel like starting one of my big starts. So I went on to the next little in my list. And the next little was from my partially kitted, fully kitted section of my stash called A Little Easter by Lizzie Kate. This was a kit that came with the pattern, the fabric, and the little buttons and beads that are included. So I just thought that was a cute little zhuzh for Easter.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, I'm using a combination. I'm using the call for Gast, Classic Colorworks, and then DMC. And so this is as far as I was able to get on that. I got the basket done and the letters Easter, the reverse roof. I was like, oh wow, there's a lot of brown, but it's not a house. What is going on? There you go. Yeah. So this is 32 count linen. White linen. Straight up. Easy stitch. Very nice. I like it. Okay. And then that was started on April the 8th. And then the last one I started was last night. Oops. And it's going to still be in, yeah. I wanted to, as part of my birthday start along, do the next one in the ABC series that Little House Needleworks did, the seasonal ones. And I had already done the winter ones in earlier Flosstubes, showed that one off. So I decided to go with the next one and do the spring ABCs. So I'm going to bring this a little closer so you can see. So yeah, so I have this one and I have the autumn ABCs. And I think I'm going to get the Needleworker ABCs, but I'm not sure.
What about the summer ABCs?
I don't know if I like it that much. I might get it after that.
So I only stitched 3 seasons.
And it's not out of print.
Yes, my point exactly.
All right. Okay. All right. You've convinced me. All right. So I started Spring ABCs by Little House Needleworks. I'm using, because I cut this fabric long before I ever really started tracking this stuff and floss tubing and all that good stuff, I think it's natural linen. It looks like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it's the same fabric that I use for my winter ABCs, and all I wrote down was 32 count linen. So there you go. So last night I was working on it, and this is as far as I got.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like how bunnies is like chocolate bunnies.
Yes, and there's a chocolate bunny underneath it that's going to go right there too, which I love. So yeah, so this was actually almost, I think this was an hour and a half of stitching. And I got to the end of the D and I was like, I'm going to stop here and then start back up. There's like flowers on the top by the A, and try to get that done for the last half hour or whatever. And we'll see how much I get done. But so to me, so Candy, to me, this is not a start. I need a little bit more time and stitches in. So there you go. But yeah, this is enjoyable. I'm using all the Call for Classic Colorworks. It's a beautiful palette, you know, a nice springy palette, and I'm enjoying working on this one so far. So that, my friends, is all of my starts.
That was not an hour.
I know, because I'm behind. Behind. Yes. So there you go. So that's what I've done.
Okay. How many whips do you have, Cheryl?
I went and looked. So officially, I have started 20.
No. How many stitched on this the last 2 weeks?
Oh, how many I've stitched on this? Oh, it was just 4.
Okay.
4 starts this week. And then I did some whip work. Yeah. So there you go. Gather here, PEEP. Sorry, I'm just writing something down. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so I know your whip list. Do you want me to do mine first or yours?
Maybe we should do yours first.
Okay. I'm amazed how many you were. Okay, we'll talk about it in a minute. Okay, let me get me back to my screen here. There we go. Okay, so I worked on 2 whips this 2-week segment. The first one I worked on is Nova Scotia Tartan map by. Pardon?
I said, yay!
Yay! Nova Scotia Tartan map by Foxberry Cottage. I do not think they are producing anything anymore. I did check a long time, well, a while ago to see if they even still have a website, and they still kind of do, but I'm just not sure how active they are. This was a whole kit. So it was the pattern and the floss and the Ada, 18 count Ada. And I had done one of these before, which was the Cape Breton tartan map for my mother. And then I decided I wanted to do this for me. So I pulled this out because I just wanted to do something that wasn't new. So this is as far as I've gotten so far. And I worked on, whoops, this section here from the yellow stripe over to the left.
Okay.
So basically I worked on the Annapolis Valley and the Bay of Fundy. For all of those who know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so there you go. It's very interesting to stitch plaid patterning. So you just have to kind of keep track of what you're doing. And there's a red stripe that goes through, red back stitching that will go through that yellow as well. So yeah, so I just wanted to do something a little bit different, so that's what I worked on. So that's, I think it was like an hour. I worked an hour on it just to try something different. So there you go. So there's that. Okay. All right. So the second whip that I did the most time on this past week is Temperature Quilt, and by Stitchin Mommy, and I am doing the version with the light colored background, and I am tracing the high temperatures of where I grew up and where I live now from my birthday in 2022 to my birthday in 2023 to mark the year. And so yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And I put in quite a few hours on this past week. Like I said, not in a starting mood, but I wanted to work on something. And this is pretty good to work on. And it's almost...
Look at how long it is.
Yes. So I am behind on, I think I have 2 days to catch up in April, which is the column that has the furthest column, the center column that has color in it, right? Then I went across and extended all of the border and worked on this border. And then I was filling in any empty blocks up here, as you can see. So that whole section is now done. And then I decided, well, I'm going to travel on down to October. So this block right here is my birthday in October. And I thought I would like to see how far down, like finish the month of October. Really glad I did, because then I realized how close I was to the bottom. And I was a little afraid that I didn't leave myself enough room. But I did some measuring, and I have about 1.5 inches left. Once I put in, I have 2 squares left in October. And then there's 4 rows of margin, border. So
Being very about it, folks, but there was some moments of not calm.
No, there was not. Because I usually am pretty faithful about leaving a 2.5 to 3 inch margin all the way around. And I can tell from the top, that's what I gave myself, was the 3 inch border. But for some reason, I did not count it correctly. And I'm usually pretty anal retentive about that, because I used to have to count and cut people's fabric. And if I screwed it up, I would hear about it. So I'm pretty... So to leave that little amount at the bottom once this is put in is out of character. But I was seriously afraid I was going to run out of room. And then all of this work would have been for nothing.
How does the fabric attach to the scroll rod?
It's Velcro.
Oh, okay. I wanted to make wasn't like the slick kind where you would have like a little bit more fabric beyond.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, like it's just a little, here I am showing you, and I don't even have it on the screen. Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I don't know where I'm just thankful that it's long enough, and I will make it work when it's time to finish, or someone else we know might be able to make it work for me. I still don't know how I'm going to finish it. I may get one of those. I just don't know. So anyway, so we've got a good idea of how long it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to...
quilt hanger.
Yeah, or one of those ones where it's like the flat top and the flat bottom, and it's not completely framed in. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a quilt hanging, like you said, than a framed piece, for sure. Because somehow, some way, I want to include the color chart, but I don't want to stitch it on it.
Well, you don't have room on the bottom anymore to stitch the...
No, I do.
Sorry.
I do have room on the side that I could put like some sort of color key, but I don't know if I want to do that. I still have some things to think about. So, so I'm happy I'm caught up. Like the first half is caught up, and now it's working on the bottom half. So what I'm trying to do is, as I'm putting in every couple of days, I'm trying to keep the current month current. And then if I've got some time or energy, I'll go and knock out some of the blocks over to the side. But this weekend, my goal is to get all the way down to the bottom, because October is 31 days. And that way I can establish my bottom border all the way across, because that will be the longest it'll be. and then go from there. Then go back up to the top and keep. So, yeah. Which I'm glad we did it, because if I had gotten down there and realized I didn't have enough room, I would have wept. Because that's a lot of work. That's full coverage. It's a lot of stitches.
Yeah.
Because there's 36 stitches in each block of color.
You're okay.
I'm okay. We're okay. An inch and a half is good. Stitching and stitching.
It's stitching, yeah.
So, Madame, that is all my stitching for the week. Now, we shall unleash the whips.
Okay, there is a method to my madness. I have a lot of whips. My goal for the year was to get a ton of them to, well, other than the ones that were 2020 or older, needed 1,000 stitches in it. I was trying to touch all my whips this year.
Yes.
So I went through and looked, and I was like, it's April. How many have I gotten done? I need to get some more done. So I was picking whips I had already stitched a little bit on and catching them up.
To the 1,000.
To the 1,000.
Right. Okay. I need to get another pen. Sorry. Keep going.
Keep going?
Yeah. Well,
You want to make it on me?
Yes, I will. Right. There we go. Boom.
Okay. All right. So, my morning stitching is a full coverage, and right now I'm currently on Rhiannon, which is artwork by Jessica Galbraith, charted by Hayde. It's on 25 count white. This is my oldest whip. I have no idea how old it is. It's still on the lap stand, and here we are.
Yay!
So I will stitch on this until I get a page finish, but I'm super excited because this dark brown here is hair.
Yay!
So, which means there's a face next to the hair. So I've been doing it. I get a page finish on a full coverage, and then I move on to a different full coverage, get a page finish, move on.
Right.
And I find that is working for me.
So for your 3 full coverages, your stitch goal is how many stitches?
That doesn't have anything to do with it. It's how old the whips are.
Oh, how old they are. Okay, got it.
So Rhiannon needs 5,000 stitches, and she's gotten it now because I have stitched this month 1,627 stitches on her.
Nice.
So, and that's, just in the morning, just a couple hours in the morning, anywhere from like 77 to 250 stitches in the morning.
Nice.
So that's that. This month, my goal is to backstitch the V on Mythical Creatures Stitch Along. I'm not counting my back stitches. I refuse to. So I've been tugging away on this. This is by Paine Free Crafts. And I still need to do all down the back side of the head and that whole tail
situation.
And then there's a few more of the claws.
And the name.
And the name. Yeah, the name's not in there yet.
So you're about halfway?
Yeah, we'll go with halfway.
And you're halfway through the month, so perfect.
Yes. And I just pull that out every once in a while and do an hour or two, or usually like 2 episodes of something.
That's a good way of doing it.
Drives me insane.
Pro tip, find yourself something that you can listen to, distract yourself when you're backstitching.
Yes, very much so. All right. So this next one is Nevermore from Lila Studio. It's on 16 count Vertigus from Fortnite Fabrics. And I stitched 364 stitches on this to get it to...
There we go.
Okay. The tree. I put the tree in.
Nice.
So, still really love stitching this.
It looks so good on that fabric. Goodness.
It does. Really, really does.
Very nice.
All right. In there. So these are in no particular order. I pulled out Orca from Carolyn Manning. Fabric, and I stitched 408 to get it to its 1,000, and all the diamonds are done in that page.
Very good.
So I just need to do the filling in between.
It's so interesting to see you do it that way because, you know, as you know, when I did sea glass, I did block for block, and you're doing diamonds, right? And then fill in the rest. And it's so interesting to see it done this way, to see the pattern reveal itself differently.
Yeah,
I like
love it.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
Yes, it does. Have you ever tried stitching one of Carolyn Manning's, like full block for full block, or have you always done it this way?
No, I started. When I started it, I started doing it that way, and then I saw somebody was doing the diamond thing, and I'm like, let me try this, and I really like it.
Yeah.
So next up, we have Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. This is by Carriage House Samplings. It's on 20 count vintage country mocha using the silk. This was for a category, part of a series. And I stitched 1,007 stitches.
Nice.
So I finished, My Love was up there, and I put everything else in. The at sea, the woman, the top of the... Actually, I'm going to call her a ghost. Her face is white.
That's what we would call a widow's walk.
Yes. And then I did a roof in honor of Cheryl.
Her roof is on fire. Thank you for sharing in my pain.
So that one's done. All right. I don't know what this category was. If this was a category, what were my categories? Oh, less than 10 colors. Okay, this is Anzak from Long Dog Samplers. This was a restart. So here we go.
Nice.
This is 16 count sampler gold from Color and Cotton. That's 823, so it's a blue.
Very nice. Are you pleased with this change?
Yes.
Yeah, it looks really good.
New Zealand's going to be green, and Australia is like a rusty reddish brown, and then everything else is 823.
Gotcha. Nice.
1,063 stitches.
Very good.
Okay. This is one of the catch-ups. This is the bear from Cottage Garden Samplings. 16 count something. I can't read.
It's Be Stitch Me.
No, it's Picture This Plus.
Oh, Picture This Plus, sorry.
241 stitches. I worked on the cattail.
Nice.
That caught up. Full Moon Winter Night from Evdokia Nikolaevia. Yeah, I've mutilated that. I'm so sorry. It's on 16 count Twilight from Fabric Flare. And I stitched... Where are you? 555 stitches on this.
Oh, so pretty. And the back stitching is showing up so good, if you were worried about that.
The back stitching was supposed to be just plain B5200. I went shopping in my Kreinik stash, and I think it looks much better.
It looks beautiful.
Not Kreinik. It's Petite Treasure Braid.
Right, okay.
Same thing.
Yeah.
In my head. I really like that one, and that's about halfway done. If I just put the white on the third tube, that's a page finish. It's not the biggest pattern, but it is bigger than a small. Okay. So there were days that I was feeling rough and I needed easy stitching, so I pulled out Sleeping Beauty from Dona Stitch. It's on 16 count antique white, and I'm at a fill-in spot on a page. And so Sleeping Beauty needs 5,000 stitches. It is not up to its 5,000 stitches. But I stitched 824.
Yay!
So I still have some fill-in right.
And then that'll be a page finish.
Yes.
Nice.
And then the 4 pages down here that are not full pages. But this is going to be a year.
It's going to be a what?
I think it's going to be a finish this year.
I think it will be too.
All right. This next one is my Whipco. My Whipco was Owl Forest. So I put in 637 stitches on Rooks to get it up to its 1,000. Here we go.
Oh, nice.
So I think it'll look a lot better. There's a big church right here, which is going to cover up a lot of that pinky. So I'm going for it looking like the dawn sky.
Nice.
So that. More.
You're doing good.
All right. This is another one that needs 5,000. This was for a category of has words. I have not had this out in a long time. This is Stars Bright from Lindy Stitches. This is on 16 count Witch's Brew from Mystic Fabrics. And here we go.
Oh, yeah.
So I put some, finally started the bird. I came down the side and filled in some of the quilt blocks. Right. That's as wide as it's going to be. I just need to finish filling them in.
Okay, very good.
It's nice to get to the bird.
Right?
Did I say how much I did on that one? 1,252 stitches. And then I did Dog's Day Out from the Crossed Wing collection. It's on 16 count Gossamer from Picture This Plus. And I stitched 331 stitches to get it to its 1,000. And that green in the new tree that's coming in.
Can you move it over so we can see the totality of... No, the other way. And up. There we go. Okay, there you go. So you worked on the new tree stuff on the left.
Yes.
Okay. Nice.
And of course, Cruella DeVille has to be my needle minder.
Sure. Yeah.
Total sense in my mind.
Yes.
And last but not least, we have Reflections of Norway, which was for the category monochromatic. It is on 16 count Fortnite fabric. I know that. Stitched with a Gloriana silk called Northern Lights by Circles. And I stitched 1,004 stitches on that.
Yes.
So That is the center.
Yeah. Excellent.
So really liking how that's looking. So I added up for my 2 weeks of stitching. Are you ready?
Okay, so that's 13. Did you have one more? Or was that in counting your start?
I think that was counting my start.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you did 13 whips, a start, and a finish.
Correct.
Okay, so no, the Namaste was number 14. Okay, and tell us total, madame. Let's just, here, yeah, there we go. All right, so you can see my face.
All right, 11,083.
I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. Goodness gracious. That's pretty good.
I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
And some extra if you want to count back stitching on that V. I don't know what that is.
That would be easily another couple hundred.
I'm not even going to count that because it's like back stitch a quarter stitch. Back stitch. No.
You're good.
Yeah.
You are totally fine.
Oof.
Okay.
That was a lot.
Well, I think that's it for like the stitching portion. Would you like to talk plans or haul acquisitions?
Plans. My plans are pretty quick.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. I need to finish a whip go.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Midnight Hunting My Dragon,
Okay.
which is another one that needs 5,000 stitches. So I want to work on that. I want to finish the page on Sleeping Beauty, just because I'm so close.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to pull out a bunch of other random things that I don't have a lot left that need just a little bit to get to 1,000. So I think I got to start pulling out some of the ones that pull 1,000.
So you finished all of your category prompts for this month?
Yeah, my categories are done. I lowered my goal this month to 5,000.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to get more done
on other things.
Pieces so I could get it done.
Gotcha.
There's a side effect of that. When you're touching all your pieces, you start falling in love with them again and you don't want to put them away. So that has been a little bit of a challenge.
Understandable. Cool.
That's it.
Okay, so for my plans, this weekend, I'm 3 starts behind. And so I would like to, okay, first I need to put the rest of the time in on spring ABCs. That's fun. I would like to do the last 2 blocks of October on my temperature quilt. That's 2. And then get back into getting caught up on my birthday starts. Now, I would need to start 2 larges and a small today to be caught up. And then another start on tomorrow. So I think I'm going to break them up a little bit and try to get at least 1 big and 1 little started, and then we'll worry about the new week tomorrow. I'm also trying to get some work done on some of my whip go goals, and it's not going very well. Like I said, I was surprised at how much I wasn't able to stitch. I took an extra day off over Easter break and to celebrate my husband's birthday, and even with that factored in, I thought I would be doing, I thought I would stitch more, and I didn't. And so I'm a little behind on everything. And that's okay, because there's no stitching police that are going to come and yell at you. So I would like to get those little goals done, and then start a couple things this weekend, and then go from there. I mean, I don't have any I mean, I'm doing categories and Whip Warriors and anything that fits in with that I do, but I don't have any stitch count goals. So I don't have that propelling me, and it makes me wonder maybe I should. But I'm just kind of focusing in on enjoying all the starts and not pressuring myself to adhere to a huge schedule. So
I have learned next year new starts will only need 500 because holding them to the same standard is just like.
So you cut out just at the amount that you were going to hold it. New starts were going to be how many stitches?
New starts right now are the same as regular whips. They're 1,000.
Ooh.
That's a lot.
So you're going to scale them back to 500?
Scale them back to 500.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting what you learn when you try a different system.
Yes.
What works and doesn't work. Cool. All right. Well, there you go. Well, that's about as much planning as I'm doing. So there you go. Okay.
Leaves haul.
Oh, Wegmans bags. Oh, Wegmans bags. You are full of acquisitions. There you go. You're welcome, people. What's that?
Nothing.
No. You're going to repeat what you just said.
But I'm sorry, people.
Yesterday in rush hour traffic getting home from work, that hit my brain. I was like, there it is. It's Christmassy too.
Because it's on brand with Cheryl.
Ta-da! All right. Go ahead.
Oh.
Or do you want me to go first? Because I only have 3 things.
I got a lot more than 3.
Okay. Well, how about I show you my stuff first, and then we'll go through yours.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So 2 of the things I received were a fabric order and a fabric of the month from Stitchery. So the first thing I got, oh, I should have taken these out of the bags. Here we go. So earlier on this year, I bought some fabric for, I'm already planning ahead for my birthday start / end of this birthday start along process for 2023. And I have a special one picked out for that. And I bought some Stitch Me fabric, and it wasn't quite the color I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be a little more gray. So then I went back, and after talking with Brandy at Stitch Me, I was like, okay, I would like to order one that's a little more gray in real life. And so she sent me a picture of one, and I said, okay, I would like to purchase that. So I'm going to take the 2 of them, and I'm going to take the floss color. It's a monochromatic piece, by the way. So I'm going to settle on the floss color and then take the 2 of them and see which one will fit the best. So all that being said, I bought myself some 40 count linen of Lunar. It is definitely gray.
It is.
Definitely gray like the moon. Hence Lunar. So it's a pretty big piece. So I got a ½ yard of it. So I've got that, and I've got the other piece is sand dollar, and then I just have to settle in on the floss color. Pardon?
Have you picked the floss color?
I was waiting for this. I know the family color. I don't want to give too much away. I know it's going to be a antique burn dory red. I think.
Oh, not what I think it is.
It's going to be that or a sagey green.
I thought I knew what pattern it was, but I am stumped, folks.
Ooh, there you go. So, yeah, I'm saving. I haven't even told Kate what it is yet, so that's why she's trying to figure
Either, so
what's that?
Said she's not going to tell me until we get to it. So
No, not that one. Because there's still too many things up in the air. I don't think I'm going to change my mind, but yeah. So I kind of know what I want it to look like and what I can make happen. At first, I thought I was going to do it in silk, and then I thought, no, we're going to. Well, I might change my mind on that too. So we'll see. Okay, and so. The second thing that I received, excuse me again for the pickles, is my
fickle stitches.
Very fickle. Well, it's not that it's not that I'm fickle. It's that I have the picture of it in my head and trying to make it come to life. So, but yes, I can be. Okay, so I also got my piece of fabric for Be Stitch Me's Fabric of the Month Club. I'm in the neutrals, and the fabric this time is called Ledger, and I get it in 40 count for doll. And I don't know if you can, there. Ooh, that's pretty good. It is blues and gold tones.
Nice.
It is super, super pretty. I don't know what I'm going to stitch on it, but it is beautiful. I'm very happy with that. I'm usually not the type of person that likes to be surprised with colors, and so far I haven't been surprised badly with the choices, so I'm happy about that. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show to you is this. So I have been realizing that the way that I store my DMC floss, I don't want to do it anymore. I want to move away from bobbinating. And so I've been experimenting with ways to keep my floss, in such a way that's good for thread drops and things like that, and doesn't get tangled and not bobbinated. So I store my overdyed floss on a similar thing, and I was thinking about doing my DMC on it, and then I saw this on Etsy. Actually, it was in a Facebook page that's dedicated to cross-stitch storage and organization, and when I saw it, I was like hooked. Okay, so there's a seller on Etsy. I'll post it below, or if anybody's interested, I'll send you the link, that make these.
I just have seen those.
And they hang very well on letter size. The boxes where you can hang letter size hanging folders, you know what I mean? And so what they've done is they've made a series that has every single one of the DMC colors, have all their numbers across here, and they're cut out. Now, some people store their floss right in on that, in the hole. Like just put the color, take it off and match the colors and thread their thread this way. I don't. Where are they? Okay. The way I will store my things is like this. So I have a ring, and then here's the floss holder for when I'm in a project. So that once I'm done a project, I can hang it on the ring and it's all together. So then I know how much DMC I've got.
You have multiple floss drops of the same color.
And they're already separated out. So if I want to pull something for, like right now, I automatically bought DMC for all of my big projects that were full coverage. I wanted to make sure I had enough DMC. But with other projects, I pull the DMC out of my bobbinated storage, and then I pull a couple of lengths off of it and put it on a floss drop for that pattern because I don't know how long I'll be working on that project. Does that make sense? So
I'm worried about all the floss drops jamming up, though.
no. So was I, because these are very close to each other. So I noticed on the Etsy listing that they said, if you want to talk to us, if you want a different design, or do you want to spread them out or whatever. And I said, yes, I would like to have mine spread out, because I want them to be the width of my floss drop apart. I don't know if you can see it. So from hole to hole, this floss drop is 1 inch wide. So,
Okay.
so the middle here, whoops, the middle, okay. All right, I'm holding this. I'm holding it.
But I all the same size floss drops. I just have a bunch of random floss drops.
Right. So what I sat there, and Jerry and I sat and measured one night and said, so I want to be able to hang them this way, put them on these, because I have all these different size floss drops, but I can have one here for the color and just put it all on the one. Does that make sense? Or I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. But eventually I'm going to be converting all my floss drops that are DMC, I'm going to say this right now, that are DMC to this size, which are 1 inch wide.
Okay.
Okay. And there will be a sticker here with the DMC color, so I know it when I'm using it in a project. So then I said to the seller, can you make it so that the holes, there's 1 inch width between, I don't know if you can see my hand. There we go. The center of this one to the center of the next one over. So it needs to be 1 inch in between. So what they did was they spread these out so that when I put 2 of these on here, they won't get caught up in each other. So I'm going to put 2 of them on here now so you can see. So they are just wide enough that they don't hang up on each other.
I think I hate you.
And then, so once I'm done with the project, or I'm going to be cutting all of my floss drops this size so that I can just slot them on here and they're all together in the right, because each on the top there has the DMC number. Can you see it?
I can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to decide if you're a genius.
I'll go with genius.
How? Okay, are you storing them in like a plastic
Yes.
file folder type thingy that hangs?
Yes, if you got a second, I've got one right across my desk. Just wait a second. Here we go. Oh, I would have brought it over if I'd known. La 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 la.
If she converts me, people, I'm going to be very upset. Oh.
Interlude music here. All right.
No, I was talking with the people.
Okay. I can't wait to see that when I edit the video. Okay, so this, I'm going to go on.
Go on your whole self.
Yeah, I'm going on my whole self right now. Okay. So this is the bucket that I use to contain my specialty threads, like my classic colorworks and stuff. So I don't know if you can see it, but I've used the hanging file folders as a...
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is what this is Classic Colorworks, or this is my Gast, and it's organized by letter of the alphabet, but not like all the A's are together. So I have 2 sets in here. I have my Gas and I have my Classic Colorworks. And they're all on this.
Okay.
So I knew, so what I'm going to do, where did I put that? Oh, I put them over there. So here's my hanger. Here's my hanger. Here's my box. I think you can see it. There we go. And it hangs like that. Yep, there you go. So they are meant to hang like that. I'm pretty sure you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's, I've got an empty box, and that's where my DMC are eventually going to be transferred into.
Okay. Question is, where did you get the thread drops from?
I make them. I make them. I was making my own.
Little.
What's that?
They're so little.
Yeah. So I found I would have gotten that too. I found a rectangular punch that's 1 inch in width and 2 inches in height. I found a hole punch. I had one that was 1 inch round, and I found one that was 1/2 inch round.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is a normal hole punch. So these are actually some of the thread drops that I received from StitchCon that I deconstructed. So that way, and I made them, I was able to get 2 or 3 out of, because people were making floss drops, and I'm not mad at this. They were making them almost the size of business cards.
Yes.
So they were a little large for me. So I was like, so how do I honor their gift to me, but use it in the way that I need it? So I was able to cut them using the rectangle. And so that's how I knew that I wanted. And so you can see, I want to be able to show you this so you can see what, okay, there we go. So you can see here that there's enough room so that the 2 of them are almost on top, like they're side by each. Yeah. Yes. So there you go. So now I had to pay more for that because I'm now using more sticks, right?
Yeah.
But and it was, I will tell you right now, it wasn't cheap because they are coming from the Ukraine. And but I think they're beautiful, and I think they are they're worth it.
Yeah.
And that way I can keep all my bits and bobs together of DMC. And so slowly but surely everything is going to get, because I had like extra skeins that I had to figure out where they were going. And I have, as much as I don't mind stitching with DMC that's been bobbinated, I've gotten more so now that I like having everything on floss drops and organized within my project bag or project box. And but I wanted to know how to organize them and know how much I had. So especially as I go through these full coverage ones and whatever I have left over, I'm going to stick in what was the best way of putting them together and not be messy and get tangled and all that good stuff. And that's how I was like, if I'm storing my overdyed floss this way, why can't I do it with DMC? And then I saw that somebody had already thought about that. So, so this is, if you just want to do it normally, this is what they look like. This was added in the bottom of my box, I think, to keep them from moving around. But this is what they look like. They come in two different, this particular seller does two different colors. I prefer the dark wood. And the whole set, if you get them the regular way, I think the whole set for the 500 DMC regular colors, I think was around 60.
Okay.
If you want to store your stuff that way. Because I'm extra and want to be able to store them this way using the floss drops that I'm going to have in all my projects, then I needed some more. I needed some more sticks, so there was a charge for the extra sticks to spread them out further. So I hope that all makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense to my brain because I've been living this for the last 3 weeks. Or I should say, well, it took a little longer than that because, because Jerry and I had to figure out whether or not I could get a floss drop punch that was the dimensions I wanted, and I finally found one. So then that, yeah. So I'm excited. I'm really happy about this, and I think that is the last of my big purchases for this year. And I'm done. Like I said, I'm trying to work on equipment and fabric stash because so anyways. So those 3 little things took a little longer than I expected. Sorry.
That's okay. All right. All right. Crab Shack Stitchery got with the balloon animals. So stinking cute.
So freaking cute.
I bought the accoutrement bag.
Yes.
And then she threw in this one.
Oh, nice.
Which is not really my style, but that's fine. I will find something more to give that to her. I got from Vicky Stitchin Button the rest of my order of my Stitchy Things bags.
Nice.
And she sent it in a bag that says, "Let's stage this." This gigantic whale on it. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
All right. So I had ordered from her because I had gotten to retreat and had forgotten to bring my tray with me that she makes. And I was very annoyed. And I was like, I need a second tray that I can put in my retreat bag.
Good idea.
But so here it is.
Oh, cute.
And I did the same fabric on both sides. I didn't care.
Right, yeah. That's a good idea for people that are that do enough retreats to have my stash of stuff so that you're not running around with your head cut off packing. It's already done.
Yes. And I also got my needle minder from her Winchesters.
Nice.
All right, so that needle minder, the Tree of Gondor was a new purchase. Here's a Tolkien one.
Oh, nice.
And then she threw in this one.
Oh, it's a cat. It took me a minute. Sorry.
And she is SHIVAWN and Co. Came in a cute little polka dot bag.
Cute.
This is not very exciting. I ordered more of those rings.
Love those rings.
These are more, I don't know, plasticky, but they'll work. All the bright colors. All the bright colors.
Because, you know, theme.
I don't know. I don't really do that. And I got those from Palmy Provisions. Palmy Provisions.
Cool.
On Etsy. And what's this? So from the Crafty Grimalkin, Grimalkin. They're on Etsy. I got a bunch of floss drops.
Nice.
Whole bunch, like 5 packets of these.
Nice.
So these are the size I like, which would make for an awful lot of doing it your way.
Well, I mean, I like them larger when I'm okay with the size that comes with what you call it, like overdyes, like Gas or Classic Colorworks. That I don't mind, but I was at one point using tags that were really wide, and it's hard to wrangle them the way I stitch on my sofa. So I was like, can I bring this down a small bit? So yeah, I'm not mad at that. It's just for the DMC is only going to go down to those small ones.
Yeah, so like this size is one of the ones I use.
Yeah.
So this is all of Aragorn's floss.
Nice. Yeah, everybody's got their way. I'm not mad. I was thinking for this is long-term storage as opposed to what I use.
I still use the floss away bags, but I keep looking at yours going,
Yeah.
I'll think about that.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Are you done?
My Wegmans bag is empty.
The Wegmans bag is closed for business. Now done. Well, I think that's all I have for today. How about you?
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, Cheryl's going to tack on a photo of what Cinna was doing during the middle of all this.
The cats may not be on the screen, but they are around.
Yes.
Yes, so we will have a special little photo at the end. So, okay, so that's it. We will see you in a couple weeks.
Yep. Happy stitching.
Happy stitching. Keep asking the questions. Whatever you like to do. We appreciate the feedback and what stands out to you in our various videos. So it's kind of fun to see.
Yes. Oh, and do the YouTube-y things, like and subscribe.
Yes, all those fun things.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.